Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with a review video, my first review of 2016, okay? And I'm excited for this one because this one is a good one. And I held off on this one for a while because this foundation has been out for a little bit. But hey, I mean, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. Sometimes the money ain't there. But I finally got my hands on the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and holy moly, this one, okay, do you see this? Do you see this? Perfection. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about this foundation. So this one I picked up at Sephora. It's available at Sephora, also on Too Faced's website. I don't know if this is available at Ulta and all that good stuff, but I think it is, okay? You do get 30 ml in here, so just the standard amount, 1.0 fluid ounces. This retails, I believe, for $50 at Sephora here in Canada. So it's not one of the most expensive foundations out there, because we know in the high-end world, foundations can go up to, like, you know, $65, $70. So this is actually a good price point and you get a nice amount of product. This foundation has a lot of claims on it, and the ingredients, oh my gosh. When I finally sat down and read the ingredients, I was super impressed and had really high standards for this little guy right here. I'm just going to show you guys a close-up of the packaging first. I love the bottle. I love how sleek it is. It's still a little bit fun with the gold writing and the Too Faced rim around it. I love the fact that it has a pump, okay? And the pump does dispense quite a huge amount of product, I would say. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. I did get mine in shade Honey, which I think is the closest match for me. At first when I picked it up, I did find it a little too warm. I wanted a little bit more yellow in it. But the more I wore it, the more I think it really, you know, blended well. It doesn't look like it's the wrong match or anything like that. So I went ahead and picked up Honey. And if you guys want to know a reference to my other shades in different foundations, I always have it listed in the description box, like MAC, Estee Lauder, just every kind of brand that I've tried out. It will be in the description box. So if you're my complexion, you can see what shades match me, okay? So check that out. So I'm just reading from my phone right here. So this foundation is supposed to be a medium to full undetectable coverage. It's oil-free. It has coconut water, and it's infused with alpine rose, and it also has hyaluronic acid. So those three ingredients are amazing. Coconut water helps with moisture levels in the skin. Alpine rose is to brighten up the skin and promote elasticity. And then the hyaluronic acid, I always have a problem saying that word, balancing skin for a smooth, more youthful appearance. So I mean, hi, if that's it, that's what it's gonna do for me, girl, I'm all for that. So the ingredients in this are amazing, and it just sounds like it would be great for a lot of skin. This foundation, when I first applied it, I wasn't too fond of it because it felt like it was just on top of the skin, and that's because I applied it with a dry, like a regular brush, just like you know, like a flat top kabuki brush or something like that. I was looking for my brush over here. I have no idea where I placed my brush. Yeah, so just like a flat brush like this. This is the Marc Jacobs number 3 brush. And I really wasn't too happy with the way it looked on the skin. It didn't wow me. It looked like it was on top of the skin. I wasn't too happy about the coverage. But the more I played with it, the more amazing it looked. And I have so many compliments when I wear this foundation. So I decided to, when I apply this foundation, what I do is I take one pump, and one pump is a lot. I'm telling you, I think for some people, half a pump is gonna be more than enough. So I take one pump at the back of my hand, and I dab it all over the skin. And then what I do is I take my MAC Cosmetics Charged Water and I spray that all over the face just to add a little bit moisture there. when I apply the foundation that way and I go ahead and use a flat top kabuki brush or even a beauty blender, it really gives me the same amount of coverage with either or. So it doesn't really matter what you're using, to be honest, because the consistency of this foundation is not a liquidy consistency where the beauty blender is gonna suck it up, and it's not too moussey where you need a beauty blender, and the flat top kabuki brush is not going to blend it out properly. Okay, so I really didn't have problems with either or tools, but when I blend it out that way, when I wet my face or wet the brush that I'm using, it just smooths the foundation out so beautifully, and like my skin looks so good. It looks smooth, it looks evened out, it looks hydrated. I mean, I have no complaints whatsoever. You don't see any darkness around my face or anything like that, dark spots, and it looks so healthy, like really healthy. What I really love about this foundation is that after wearing it for hours and hours, you don't see any of my pores. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. I have smile lines and fine lines on my forehead from just like laughing and, you know, a lot of facial expressions. You don't see it settling into those areas, and it just looks amazing throughout the day. This is a very long-lasting foundation. I have worn it for 8 hours straight and more, and when I look at my skin, it still looks very good. Funny thing about this foundation is that I prefer to wear it without a primer. When I do pair it up with a primer, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't work as well as when it doesn't have a primer. I've tried it with my Kat Von D primer, I've tried it with my Maybelline and my L'Oreal primer, and I just feel like if you add too much of a hydrating primer, like I have the L'Oreal Magic Lumi primer, it started to get a little bit on the oilier side, okay? I think it's because this product is already designed to give you like a healthy glow, that if I add a more glowy radiance kind of primer, it's just gonna start getting borderline oily. And then when I used my Kat Von D primer, I just felt like, I don't know, it wasn't the way it looks on its own. So I like to use this honestly without a primer. It looks beautiful and it lasts super long on its own. So you do not need a primer, even though I'm big on primers and I love primers. You really don't need a primer with this. I haven't tried a mattifying primer because I don't have super oily skin. Maybe it will work out that way, but on its own, girl, loves it. It feels really comfortable on the skin and sets very nicely. I normally don't powder my entire face. What I do is I powder only in the T-zone area because I tend to get a little bit oily. Most people do in that area. So I powder that area and the rest of my face I leave alone because I love that glow that this foundation gives me, but it's not a dewy, it's just a beautiful, healthy kind of glow. Mind you, I do have highlighter on right now, and girl, my highlighter is on fleeky right now, but even without highlighter, your skin just looks very healthy and glowy and beautiful. The coverage, in my opinion, I don't have a lot of scars like acne or anything like that. I have more like I want to even out my skin tone. I have a few little dark spots and that's about it. So with one layer of this foundation, you can still see dark spots peeking through. So that tells me it's not even medium, because medium usually will cover that. When I go in with a second layer, just in the areas, usually it's around like the cheek area, the lower cheek area. This is where I apply just a tad bit more. Whatever excess product I have on my hands that I pumped out, I would just apply in that area and then it will cover that. So I do believe this foundation will go up to a medium with a second layer. Full coverage, I'm not too sure. I would say that you might need a third layer to get a full coverage, but then you're using a lot of product, and that is a lot of product on the face, and you don't want it to look cakey. Now with the second layer, it doesn't look cakey at all. With the third layer, it's not going to look cakey, but it's definitely going to give you that foundation appearance, even from far. With the 2 layers, yes, I do have foundation on, but I mean, it doesn't give you that obvious foundation look. Like, I'm looking at my skin right now, and it gives the skin just a very beautiful, kind of glowy look. Sorry, I didn't blend out my highlight over here too well. I got a little excited. I'm just gonna pump some out just to show you guys. See, it does have a fairly thick consistency. It doesn't feel thick, but it's not gonna run down your arm super fast or anything like that. And it's very, like, it's creamy, like, it's so beautiful. See? It blends out like a dream, I tell you, like a dream. And it does feel quite hydrating when you first apply it on your skin. Even as I apply it at the back of my hand, my hands feel super hydrated and just that fresh feeling. That's what I get when I blend this out. So it's just, all in all, I think this foundation is amazing. It's beautiful, and I do think it's worth the hype. It is that born this way kind of look that you get from it, because you don't look cakey or overdone, and it's gorgeous. It's very, very beautiful. Because it's so lightweight on the skin, I do find it like everyday appropriate, and the makeup that you put on top of it glides on beautifully. Another thing that I really love about it is that I don't get oily. I don't get super oily throughout the day, and I don't need to touch up my makeup, which is amazing. Like, I don't feel like I need to blot in the T-zone area when I wear this without a primer, especially. It just stays pretty much the same, like, throughout the day. Even if I'm hot, I don't feel like I get overly shiny or anything like that. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this foundation. I really, really do love it. I think it's a gorgeous foundation, and I do recommend you guys trying it out. If you have super oily skin, the only thing I will say is you really do want to prime with a mattifying primer and set the foundation with powder, just something a little bit loose and fluffy, because I do feel like if you do have oily skin, it might promote more, like it might get oily over time, just because of the ingredients that are in there. They're very hydrating, and it does give you that glowy finish. So definitely use a primer and set your foundation, and I think you should be good to go. If you have normal, combo, or dry skin, you will love it. Especially dry skin, I think you will really, really like it. So all in all, I'm in love with this foundation, and I've been wearing it like a week straight, and I'm just like, this is one of the holy grails. This is close to my NARS, okay? This is up there with my NARS. So I love it. I do have a couple of other foundation reviews coming up very, very soon. I just made a little order on Sephora on the website, and I ordered the custom cover drops from Cover FX, which is an oldie, but I really need to try that one. And then the new Becca foundation, and I also have the Marc Jacobs that I want to review for you guys. So let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see next, which review you want to see next. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful for those of you who are thinking of picking it up. And like I said, the shade selection from me and other brands will be down in the description box with any other info that I have for this foundation. And yeah, thank you so much for joining this channel. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao!